At this stage, you might be starting to think about how you would like a CRM application to look and feel. You might also be thinking about the application workflow, that is, the order in which things are done and the way they're done from the user's perspective. Many of these things are a matter of personal taste rather than technical best practice, so you should really be looking at everything we present in the light of how you would modify the code to create results to match your own preferences. Right now, we're going to pull together several threads from the course so far and use them to create a project component. Do you remember company list? We drew upon the database to create a simple list of companies that we could find in the tCompany table. Quite simple, with no links, just a link back to the home page. Now let's upgrade this using some of what we've learned so far. On a fresh code pane, find the snippet Project Forms Company List Order and save it as a file in the Forms folder, companylistorder.php. After collapsing the header and the connection script, notice the declaration of the variable this script name with the name of the file, companylistorder.php. Also notice the style declarations at the top. Later we'll use a far more elegant way of declaring CSS styles in our PHP code, but this will do for now. The variable order clause is set by capturing a form field called order by field name using the get function. The SQL uses this variable order clause in its order by clause. So this reads order by tcompany.id or tcompany.name. And here are the links. We set the variable header ID to the piece of HTML code, href, is equal to the name of this file, this script name, with the query string order by field name equals ID. And the text that's displayed to click on is ID. Similarly, at the head of the company name column, we label it company, but it's actually an href link to this very same script with a query string called order by field name and the value of name. And name, of course, is the field name of the company in the table tCompany. Similarly, the column headed with the word town is actually a link, again, to the same script with the query string order by field name set to the value town. So if we were to click on town, the get clause sets order clause to town, and then the SQL reads order by tcompany.town. By setting the links as variables, we then can simply use those links in the header row of our table. So the first column header in our first row is header ID. We don't bother with a header for the prename column, but we do have header name for the company name column, and so on for town, county, postcode, and country. Also notice the use of alternate row rendering. Using the styles we set at the top of the script, either tr odd or tr even, which were simply changes of background color for the row, depending on whether the index as we cycle through the list of companies is odd or even, we set the variable row class, which is a style variable for the table row, to either tr odd or tr even, giving each row a different color to the previous one. And finally, we tell the user on screen what to do to edit a record. So after the table is rendered, we echo a little up arrow, click ID to edit record, because in our ID row, we've set link to list equal to the link to the ID of the company. So when we click on the value of the ID, it's actually a link, an href, to the script company people edit, which we've come across before, with the query string company ID set to the value of the ID. Now we'll save and run this and see what we get.